So today we're gonna introduce you top 7 RPG games you have to play. Dragon Age Origins is a role-playing game played from a third-person perspective. The player is a Grey Warden, part of an order of elite fighters whose task is to defeat the Archdemon and save the world from a disastrous event called the Blight. Players create their own Grey Warden characters, customizing gender and appearance as well as choosing a race and class. The available classes are warriors who perform strong physical attacks, rogues who carry out stealth attacks and steal items from other characters, and mages who cast spells on enemies, create combo spells, and support other party members. The three choices of race are human, elf, and dwarf. The combination of class and race determines which of 6 different origin stories the player experiences: the Leash Elf, Dwarf Commoner, City Elf, Mage, Human Noble, or Dwarf Noble. Unlike previous titles of the series, Fallout 3 is played from the first-person perspective. The players have the option to switch between this and over-the-shoulder third-person perspective at any time after the initial stages of the game. While many elements from previous titles are reused, such as the special system and the enemies encountered, major elements in the combat system are changed and new features are introduced. For example, the new VATS system. Mass Effect 2 is a single-player action role-playing game in which the player takes the role of Commander Shepard from a third-person perspective. Shepard's gender, appearance, military background, combat training, and first name are determined by the player before the game begins. The player may choose to import a character from a completed, saved game of the original Mass Effect or start the game with a new character. Importing an old character allows several decisions the player made in the original games to impact the story of Mass Effect 2, and grants the player with a set of starting bonuses. The game features 6 different character classes for the player to choose from. Each class is proficient in a different set of powers and weapon types. Dark Souls 2 retains similar mechanics from its predecessors in the Souls series. Being known for its difficulty, both bosses and standard enemies have the potential to kill the player in only a few hits. Bad play is punished severely by most enemies, opportunities for recovering health are limited, and as in Demon's Souls, with each death the player's maximum health is reduced to a set lower limit until the player expends a rare item to reverse it. The game uses a form of joint currency called souls, which are used as both experience points for leveling up and also as currency for purchasing items from shops. Upon death, the player's entire collection of souls are dropped. The player can recover their dropped souls by returning to the spot where they died, but if they die before picking them up, the souls are permanently lost. Bloodborne is an action role-playing game played from a third-person perspective and features elements similar to those found in the Souls series of games, particularly Demon's Souls and Dark Souls. The player makes their way through different locations within the decrepit Gothic world of Yharnam while battling varied enemies including bosses, collecting different types of items that have many uses, interacting with the strange non-player characters, opening up shortcuts, and continuing through the main story. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is an action role-playing game playable from either a first or third-person perspective. The player may freely roam over the land of Skyrim, which is an open-world environment consisting of wilderness expanses, dungeons, caves, cities, towns, fortresses, and villages. Player may navigate the game world more quickly by riding horses, paying for a ride from a city's stable, or by utilizing a fast travel system which allows them to ramp to previously discovered locations. The game's main quest can be completed or ignored at the player's preference after the first stage of the quest is finished. However, some quests rely on the main storyline being at least partially completed. Non-player characters populate the world and can be interacted with in a number of ways. The player may engage them in conversation, marry an eligible NPC, kill them, or engage in a non-lethal brawl. As in previous The Elder Scrolls games, killing certain NPCs can make some quests or items unobtainable. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is an action role-playing game with a third-person perspective. Players control Geralt of Rivia, a monster slayer known as a Witcher. Geralt walks, runs, rolls, and dodges, and for the first time in the series, jumps, climbs, and swims. He has a variety of weapons, including bombs, a crossbow, and 2 swords, one steel and one silver. The steel sword is used primarily to kill humans, while the silver sword is more effective against creatures and monsters. So what RPG game you like to play? Let us know in the comment section. Thanks for watching.